Alrighty. Whoop, gotta put my puss there. Another article here. This one, to me, this is what makes this story just keep going and making me scratch my head. Now, I'm sure this means a lot to other people, but to me it means nothing. And what I've gotten out of this article is just completely insane. Now, I guess some dummy got caught with child pornography. One of the admins here, it says. I hope you go to jail, and I hope the inmates beat the crap out of you, you sick prick. And that's exactly what will happen if they put you in population. But, Jesus Christ. Now, with this story has led me to something else. But we got this guy, today I was, a woman, don't know who it is. It don't say when this was dated. Armchair detective. So now we have a woman that went with Maura to school, was on the track team. She does a podcast, I guess. I don't know if she does a podcast. But, of course, how it goes with James Renner. Had posted a while back, it was a podcast episode of the Mr. Mori podcast. Yeah, that got my attention. So I think James Renner had posted this. And see how this guy is still involved. Which were said by Erinn. Erinn Larkin is a woman who went to UMass with Maura Murray. She worked the same security job and ran track on the same team. Her big sister was Maura's best friend, Kate Markopoulos, which, why that girl has two different names, then again, I don't want to know. Why is this important, you ask? Have a look at a recent Twitter post I sent to Erinn. So I don't know who this person is, but they seem to be into this case just as much as I am. And look at her response. Well, that's interesting. I guess there's the armchair detective. Due to the Maura's knows the day Maura disappeared, the track team had a mega meet in Kingston, Rhode Island. And this Erinn, so I don't know, there was a track meet, I guess, the day she went missing. So Maura skipped out on track, huh? Which I don't know what and why this would have anything to do with the case. But supposedly this Erinn's hiding something, but what? And it goes on to say, replying to armchair detective, good attention to detail, but I believe that is a typo. That story was published on the 9th, so it couldn't have run before the results were even in. If the meet was also on the 9th, I'm positive that meet was on Saturday the 7th, like it says in the schedule. Excuse me. So, if anything, that's what I thought too, but the article says it took place on the 9th. The day Maura disappeared is probably nothing. So I'm reading into this, and what the hell has this got to do with anything? Alright, there was a track meet, either on the 7th or the 9th. Now it goes on to say, now keep in mind the comment above from James Renner's blog, which I don't think I read that. Did I read it? No. Oh, this is the James Renner blog, I believe, blog. So everything's talking about how the big sister, friend, blah, blah, blah. So she worked the same security job. Ran the same track. In a response on Twitter, she claims that the track and field tournament took place on Saturday, February 7th. February 7th. The problem with this is, we all know Fred Murray admitted to taking his daughter Maura out with her friend Kate, which is the big sister, to a local pub on that night, February 7th. Now this isn't just a detail here. We also know that Kate Makopoulos attended this event. Question is, why is Erinn possibly lying about this? Why is this even a goddamn friggin' question? Why is this even in the art? All right, I used to go to football games. And I used to have to get up dirt early just to bring my son to these football games, especially on the weekend. And these games, I can tell you right now, if there's ever anybody who knows this, and I know, and even though it was football, track and field, I'm sure it's the same damn thing. But damn, there's been games that I know of because of a friend of mine, my man Ryan Cormier, had a little son. He had a son with my son on my team, our team, and he had a little son, two of them at that, the two teams before. Now, anybody knows that these sports run goddamn early. This guy was getting up at 5 a.m. to get to a 6 a.m. game, the first game of the day. It's like, me, I'm glad I didn't catch that. But I did, because I actually started, in the 6th grade football or 5th grade. So the 4th and 3rd graders had it early. But anybody knows that them games start early because you got a bunch of teams. You're not gonna run them all at once. Common sense. So it's possible, and I don't know why this person's making a big stink, that this Kate got up early, made it back in time, because all the teams don't stay there either. I'm guaranteed for sure, once your team, you'll stay there for maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes, pack up and leave. Or even if you do stay there, it's not that long. All you're doing is watching the other teams. But if they happen to do run up into 3 and 4 in the afternoon, sometimes people leave. Because, hey, if you're out there getting up at 6 a.m., being there for 7 or 5 to 6, blah, 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 and you just ran your ass off or did, whole 3-4 quarters of football, right? Who the hell wants to stay? Think about it. You got something to do later on? I know my buddy Ryan used to run right out of there after all the games are done. Because, man, he's got a life. He's got things to do. He's got 5 fucking kids, right? And I'm sure it was no different up in college. Kids do their great deed of running, banging out that other person, track meet, bang, dang, dang. Sometimes, hey, I got something to do, gotta leave. Common sense. So that would only make sense to make known that this woman, Kate, made it home in time enough to grab a shower, go out with her friend Maura and Fred. So that leads me to say, what is this person lying about? I don't get it. Then it goes down, quote, Tim, how do you recall James Renner's blog post? The other issue, something she mentioned in the podcast episode. You can find on the podcast episode in its entirety here. If anybody wants to check that out, I'm not going to check that out because I think that's a waste of time. I mean, it is interesting, but what does a track meet got to do with a guy in a pickup truck picking up Maura? See how they're taking this goddamn story and pushing it way out here, way out there, just so you get off the friggin' mainstream of it. You're gonna go way over there, keep pushing it out of who really done it. That's what I'm getting with this. And whatever the frickin' sense of this is. But this quote goes on from James Renner, which this guy I think is, I don't know, man. I don't think he's got anything to do with it, but he just likes to throw things in there and take the wrench to the gears and bust it or something. I had been skiing. Now this is Erinn. And this thing goes on to mapping out too, like I do. But she goes on to say that I had been skiing in Brenton Woods. Now, if anybody's watching my videos of mapping, Brenton was the place that Fred said that Maura could have been heading. Coming off the Highway 91, heading into Route 112. Into Brenton, I showed a map, and there are 3 ski resorts there. And supposedly this girl was at one of them with her family, but the weekend before the missing weekend. And they were still there, the family was still there, and I had decided to come back for practice and for classes, and I drove back the opposite route she had taken on that Sunday, meaning Maura, Sunday night, and the next morning was really the first official day of spring track. That Monday, and it was morning practice, and it was absolutely freezing and really awful, not very fun at all, and I got injured, and it was actually an injury. I got the day before skiing. The day before skiing. Oh, the injury I got the day before skiing, but it got a lot worse that day, and it ended up that I was done running completely in the college after that. Now, why is this an issue, you ask? We have a look at this blog. Turns out the UMass ski team was at both Tenery Mountain, Loon Mountain, the weekend before the missing. Now, why is this important, you ask? Have a look at how close Brenton Woods is to Loon Mountain. So you have Brenton Woods up here, Loon Mountain down here. Still, what the hell has this got to do with anything? Alright, the track meet was before. You know what this leads me to? Ha! Brainstorming right now, bang. That means the kidnapper followed these track meets. But was Maura Murray at these track meets? Of course, we know the night and weekend she went missing, she was not. Was she there the week before? Why ain't this put in here? Because if that's the case, then the only thing I see here is a mapping out of someone following her, like I say, and catching her at the right time. But it goes on. Then this Erinn claims she was with her family at Brenton Woods. It's only a 30-minute drive from Brenton Woods to Loon Mountain. Here's the shocker. Now look at the distance where she claims she was with her family and where Maura's vehicle was located. Keep in mind this is the Saturday and Sunday prior to Monday when Maura disappeared. All right. Unless these people are saying this girl did it, or this girl knows someone who did it, that's the only thing that would make sense. I don't even know why this stuff is up here. So here we have is the accident scene. Going eastern up to Brenton Woods, which I've already cleared that if Maura was going anywhere besides the other Vermont resorts out that way, she was going to these resorts because her family always went to them, blah, 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 right? If that's what she was doing. So that only means that maybe she was meeting up with this girl and this girl had something to do with it. That's the only thing I can think out of this whole article, or knew somebody. Because I've been reading this, this article now for Jesus Christ. It's got to be at least a year and a half. And I ain't never heard of this girl and her involvement. That's right, folks. Erinn Larkin places itself 48 minutes drive from Maura's vehicle was located just before Maura's disappearance. I bet you guys don't know that. Now here's something even more strange. She also claimed to have been to Waterville Valley. Why is this important? Well, I'm glad you asked. Turns out the UMass Amherst ski team was at Trinity Mountain Resort as well as the weekend prior to a supposed trip with a family. Now have a look at the distance between Waterville Valley and Trinity Mountain Resort. All right, 31 minutes. That's the Valley Mountain Resort. And there's the Waterville Valley. Still. And that's the accident site, I believe. Campton, yeah, I think somewhere along in the way here in this area is the accident site. But, still, oh no, this is 93. Why the hell we way over to 90? Said that don't make no goddamn sense. 93 ain't nowhere near 90. So yeah, just to look at that, what is it? Why? What's the big deal? They were way off. That's way off from being over there 112. 31 minutes drive where UMass Amherst ski team was the weekend before supposed trip. I don't think so. Over the past year, I was convinced that Cecil, this is where I said Cecil had nothing to do with it. Now, this is the only thing that caught my eye. Here's something I said. That Cecil Smith was not involved in Maura Murray's disappearance. However, I'm starting to change my mind. Things are simply not adding up. I don't know. I don't know still what that cop's got to do with it. Because all this time of a ski team, this girl traveling in and out with her family. And now it goes on to the James Renner email to James Renner. Erinn Larkin mentions that she returned to the Monday and claimed that she possibly had driven by the accident scene. However, in the podcast episode with Tim and Lance, she claims she returned to UMass on Sunday. She also claims it was morning practice the Monday Maura disappeared. However, if you refer to my Twitter post, the following website, there clearly wasn't any track practice, as she claimed in the missing Maura Murray podcast, since the track team was at a track and field competition the day Maura disappeared. Why lie about this? Clearly she's hiding something. What is it? I don't know. Please feel free to comment. Now as you can see, I read the whole damn thing. There's nothing in here stating why they're pointing the finger at this girl. Besides, she was at track meets driving all these distances. What has this got to do with anything besides the point that, right, Maura could have been meeting up with her because it was a best friend or something, or a good friend, and she had something to do with it, the killer, or a man with it, there is, but Jesus Christ, I don't know, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then it comes down here, stated, the article shows that Kate Mother did attend the meet on February 7th. Seems there was a typing error on the UMass Amherst website. And that's the only thing I read down that below, but alright, so this Kate was there. Someone posted this. Great. And there was a typing error. So what does that mean? Kate met up with Maura later on. The track meets, Jesus Christ, I didn't even read that, sorry, last night when I skimmed through this. But, and then this idiot edited. I stand corrected. Community on Reddit was able to find the following article. The article shows that Kate did attend the meet in February. So that means there wasn't nothing else for meets. So this guy rambled on, goes on rambling, and like I say, what has it got to do? All this person is doing is taking away from the red truck. You find that red truck, you find that goddamn friggin' killer. That's all that matters right now. And what this person is doing, and who knows who wrote it. See, there's a question. This could be an anonymous person just screwing around, even though they said they wrote to this woman, Mr. Detective, whatever his name is. But you don't know who's behind that name. And that's the thing with these articles. I've noticed in these articles that everybody likes to throw stuff the other way. All these fake ones that come up, they say that has come up throughout the years on this case. Right. They want to throw it the other way, just like the 112 dirtbag was mentioning a rapist, mentioning this guy, mentioning that one. He did it. Why ain't they harassing this guy? Why ain't they harassing that guy? You know, everybody in this story is just throwing stones or throwing a bone for all you dumb dogs to catch. Dude, go catch it. That's right. You go that way, I'm going to go this way. You know, you ever play hide and seek with the dog because you throw him the bone, he runs, you hide? That's what this is. This is what this story is. A maze. And your dog's got to find you. That's right. So, I mean, just to show that this girl that was there now, because I didn't read all the way down, and to think that, all right, either this other girl Erinn had something to do with it or not, or what, whatever the case may be. I think this is all irrelevant. It's all just a piece of article just to throw you off guard. That's what this is. What the hell is all this mapping and this got to do with? This is beyond me. Beyond me. And I think I'm Thunderbolt for sharing that. But in my opinion, that article is a joke. Which leads me to this. And this will be in my next video. I'm gonna get my thing here. Right here. Now I looked up this Erinn Larkin, Not Without Pearl. Now this one, of course I type in the name Maura Murray and, you know, this woman. This is in my next. There are any credibility in the sighting reported a couple of months later. But this one got some good stuff in it, and I'm going to go over it in another video. I ain't got time right now. But of course, how do you hold someone in suspense? I'll have to tell you tomorrow. I might get into it later. But other than that, you know, coming in with that one, that other article led me to this. And this one got some good points and stuff. But I'll tell you, more stuff to just throw you off, though. More stuff to just make you think, Oh my God. How many more tunnels are you going to have to pick before you find the right one? Just like in the movie It. Which tunnel should you take before he comes out and forms and shape shifts and kills you? Just like any other serial killer. Look out. It's like this guy who killed this woman has to be an expert. Very, very well planned, and that's scary because this son of a bitch hasn't even been caught yet. You know? Think about it. Some serial killers take their seriousness through this stuff and really just take the time to do it right. And like I say, great detective, I wish I could remember his name. If you gotta find the killer, you got to think like that killer. You gotta get in that sons of bitch's mind. And you gotta think, and you gotta have a strong mind for it too, people. Because to think like someone like this, and to imagine what he done with her, it's like, whoa. You gotta keep sane. But be safe, take care, and beware. Because this sumbitch still out there. And this friggin' story's just getting like it's a tailspin. Your airplane got shot and you're spiraling down to the ground. Don't know. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen, but sucks to say, you can't do a damn thing about it. Out.